Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, once again. It's a fine, sunny Sunday. We're being spoiled by the good Lord. And here we are with Claude Bonté de Beauvalon with... There you go. It's another day of those, another one of those days. Another day. And we've even got a puppy who's curious now. Look at the puppy. Puppy's looking... That's a nice audition, okay. Roti, no. Okay, that's a good one. Yeah, it's like, okay, what is going on here? Okay, let me fit that. There we go. So what do you have here?
Okay, I've got a picture, I'd say, of quite an entrepreneurial family. These are the Rasouls. So you can see the picture. Right, okay, so in this picture, there's Bertrand, André and Marcel. Now, André was quite interesting in the 70s. He owned Hertz. So we've got a picture of Hertz as well, actually, which is here, which I'm sure everybody will recognise, because it's been there since the old days. It was one of the first car hire companies on this island. Now, the interesting thing is about André, is that, so I'm told, that he actually started Hertz from the winnings of a poker game. So there you go. That's a way. That's another way to start a business. And then there's Marcel in that picture as well. And you probably wondered what's behind the exotic eyes. And that's there you go. That's Marcel. And then finally, we have Bertrand, and Bertrand was actually the Seychelles High Commissioner in London. It was quite a while ago now, and his cousin as well, George, I believe, was also the Seychelles High Commissioner in London many years before him. So they're quite an entrepreneurial family, and the reason why I picked them as well is because I think around that time in the 70s, people were very entrepreneurial and industrious, and they did quite a lot of things. Okay. His father, their father, a gentleman named Sadek Rasoul, was developing land, and he would export. He would sell things like patchouli, cinnamon, and that type of thing to Chaka Brothers, and then that would have been exported, and that was a big industry in Seychelles at the time. And it was quite interesting, really, because there was a lot of people were very industrious, because as well what you have to think about is this is before tourism really took off, which when the airport was open, it was about 1973 as I remember, so it was before that, and they all did very well in those days. And I remember having a chat with somebody who was saying he said it was interesting because around that time people thought of the next generation a lot, so they would plant these trees and all that for the future generation, so that we could I suppose profit from the land. That was the idea.
Okay, so what do you think that people are doing different now, if I may ask?
Well, I think we've become lazy because of tourism.
Do you think it's just laziness? Do you really think it's just lazy, or have we become so? It's like. We would say in Creole maybe retiré. It's like you're out of that context. You don't even remember what was once upon a time, why it was introduced by our elders, why we had to say good morning, why we had to say thank you, why we had to sit down and stay put. Like I see so many parents nowadays in the car, it drives me crazy. I have children too, I've done it too, but not to that context whereby they'll have the kids standing up in the car. If you can't now tell your kid sit down in a car and stay buckled up, what is that kid gonna do at school anyway? So it starts somewhere. So that's something. And we had a chat with a guy today, Hillary, very, very nice chat, and he said it. Yeah. He said when he was young, on a Sunday would be the day that he would wash the dishes, and there was no way doing anything else. That was it. It was his duty to wash the dishes, and he was just a small kid, and he had to help out on the farm with his father and stuff like that. But I believe that nowadays, for kids, it's just a holiday between a holiday and a holiday, school. So
The discipline, I'd say the discipline was important, and also the creativity. So the discipline, the creativity, the hard work, and people had to push their grey matter. Because if you think about it, if you haven't got anything apart from the land, what do? You've just basically got to work the land, and you need to work very, very hard as well. It wasn't raining tourists, so you had to do more.
But that's the thing. People were more entrepreneurial then, and even more. I would say it's just like the stuff that we were talking about that throwing stuff away at the bins. We used to either fix them or give it to someone else because someone else could make use of them. When you see the stuff that people throw away, it's like, oh wow, like can't you see something else in that? And actually the best thing would be to give it to a kid and let them do something out of it, make something out of it. And that's where it starts, so they can understand that something man-made can always be improved. And they can learn something from that. Anyway.
It's nice to know that we're not the only crazy people that would look at
I'll
things.
I'll stop at the bin and I'll pick up something, and guys, you can
recycling
take the photo.
it.
That's fine. I always do.
Other people
so
do it
it's
as well.
amazing.
And if you want to zoom and come along and have a look at the little wooden statue on just by the wall there, I would be very interested to know for the people that are actually watching this, who the statue reminds them of. So please put your answers down.
Okay. All
Okay.
right.
So just put your answers down. Quite a well-known character, I would say. Right. Okay. Hit the music. I promised I'd be doing a little bit of dance, so there you are. A bit of a mistake. Right. Okay. Right. Okay. Okay.
All right. What have you dug out now? What is
I'm
it?
sure quite a few people would recognise this chap. That's Regis Wawor. Now, Regis Wawor's quite an interesting character.
For a long time.
He's quite an interesting character. I mean, when I got to know him the second time round, he's our accountant. But you see what he's holding. I don't know how well you can see it in that picture, but he's holding the record, and the record actually is this one here. Yeah.
Oh wow.
And
that is it.
That's it. He did a song. There you go, Regis Wawor and the Nightshades. He did a song called Follow the Wind to Kuze. And it was a lovely song. Follow the Wind to Kuze. Very, very nice song. And I've had this with me, like I said, probably since I was about 5 or 6 years old. And by the way, for the lady who asked me, which I think it was Paul, we've actually ordered the record player. I did it earlier on today, so I'm hoping that we'll get the record player either next week or the week after. I'm reliably informed, so we'll be able to play all these really nice records.
All right. Okay.
So there you are. And Regis as well. I mean, I thought he was quite an entrepreneur. He also had a nightclub called the Love Nut. So
it was his.
It belonged to him and his brother.
The Love Nut. I remember the Love Nut.
Because they were musicians, they enjoyed it. But from what I learned from Regis is obviously, the same old thing. They had to get day jobs. So he was an accountant and his brother worked for the Ministry of Finance, I think it was, he said. So they had their day jobs, did what their parents expected them to do, but they obviously loved music and entertainment. And Regis was such a lovely guy, and he's just got a very, very good heart. One thing that he told me, which I'll never forget, is that one thing he taught me was really the value of friendship. And just never really fall out with people for stupid things. Preserve the relationship at all costs.
Exactly.
So, that's what I picked up from him. Very nice chap though.
Wow. Okay. Amazing. Regis Wawor. Haven't seen him for ages, gosh.
There you are. Right.
Okay, you've still got more stuff. You're spoiling the people today.
I'm spoiling them today. There's
Come on, I mean, you should show just one or two things, but now it's like, and the trunk seems to be self-filling, like it's
there's some more.
Every now and then it looks like it's getting more stuff. It's a magic trunk.
Right, okay.
Okay.
I thought I'd actually pull this one out of the trunk, because this is quite interesting.
What is
Now
it?
this is Bakayaya.
Turn it around because we can't see it. Meaning like so. Okay.
Right. Okay. So you remember?
Oh yes, epic Jean-Marc Volsi.
Yeah.
Best. Wow.
And this is a
It's a
picture.
pity I don't hear from
We don't hear
music
much
from him
from
anymore.
him these
Yeah,
days. There
he's
you go.
really
This
good.
is a picture of
He's
Jean-Marc
awesome.
Volsi.
In his younger days.
Yeah.
His
Now
younger
the,
days.
the reason why that really got me, and I decided to pick that one as well, is because Jean-Marc Volsi. I think I spoke to him around the time that he did that song, which it came out a little bit. When was it? About 1990, maybe 2000, or around
Was
that kind
it?
of time. And it
Possibly,
really
I don't
was
know.
a big hit. It was so authentic, very well written song. And he told me that he was working in the archives, so he was able to do all that research. And he was talking about Bakayaya and this old lady and the share bucket and things like. But it was, I mean, for a Seychelles, for a Creole song, it was an absolute masterpiece.
Yeah,
It
that's
really,
true.
really
That's
was
true.
excellent.
With the voice and everything,
yeah.
amazing. And instruments, I mean, he really
He got
hit
even
it home.
got, I think he even got the old instruments as well.
It's a pity that you don't hear like songs from him anymore.
He got the
because
old
he's really got the
instruments as
essence
well. So
of that. Yeah.
I mean, I just thought that's
The
so
Creole
authentic
vibe.
that I had to put that one in there. So okay,
Wow. Okay. Now,
there's more.
There's more. There's more coming.
There's
But
more
how can
coming.
you spoil people like that? Because what we're going to do next time?
I'm spoiling them. Believe you me, there is so much. There's so
Okay.
much. I'm having fun with this.
Oh, obviously. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Well, if we're talking about artists, so who would you say has really like sort of touched that bit in you that I can say, oh my gosh, this is really amazing. Okay, let's say apart from Jean-Marc Volsi, is there anyone else that you
What
can
musical artist?
say? Musical artists.
Seychelles one musical artist.
Yeah, I couldn't be more
No,
specific.
no. There's a few. There's a few. that
Okay,
I've- I've
which
cut
one
their songs.
pops into your head?
For
like
me,
when,
it would be Mickey Mancom, just
wow,
because
oh
his
yeah,
songs are all.
that's why you
they're
listen to
just
his.
great.
You actually live and breathe those songs every single day. You play them in your car. I mean,
They're
it's
great and
amazing.
they're timeless, the ones that I remember. But
Yeah,
there's
it
a
is
few
good.
others that I've. Like, I'll give you an example. Not Ralph Walser. What was his name? Ralph Hamsbury did a song called
he's
Amen
amazing.
de la Cour.
Yeah, he's
And
really amazing.
that
too.
was around 1999, 2000, and there was just something about that song that was just excellent.
But he's got a different style. I mean, his style is
You
like
know.
off the cuff, and it's. I mean, we've got great people here.
It was
great
lovely.
great
And then you've
musicians.
got someone
Patrick
like David
Victor Nalgard,
Scholastic.
David Scholastic.
He's
amazing.
old school, isn't he? But he just wrote a song for a specific thing, like Mopus.
I mean, they're all great. I mean, even the youngsters nowadays, they come up with a few good things. I mean, it is amazing what they come up with.
And also, the thing to remember as well is that with a song will actually tell the whole thing about the mood, the times. It's
True.
all captured in a song.
Yeah.
I think that's really like the importance of music. And I think then it meant more as well. I think today songs mean a lot less. When you think of songs, and songs will evoke a memory.
Yeah.
They'll just, if you listen to one of your favourite songs, it will remind you of exactly where you were when you heard that song.
True. Very
So
true.
that's one of the things I love about the songs. That's why I've been inspired with the theme song.
Oh, yeah.
Which is like the old Mickey Mancom song.
Oh, yeah.
Right now, I want
Okay.
to show the viewers this picture and see if you can recognise it or what it reminds you of.
Okay. I wonder. Okay, go on.
You see, so if you look at that picture, it kind of looks a little bit like you might be on a ship and you're sort of looking out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're looking out onto the sea.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's that one. And if I show you this picture, you'll be able to see the rest of it.
Oh, yeah.
I
Okay.
still think, even today, that was probably the most amazing hotel on this island. It really was an amazing hotel.